What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Leave It Talks. It's been some time and we've got some catching up to do. Okay, so let's dig into it. We've got Justin Gaethje versus Charles Oliveria, lightweight championship fight potentially coming up. I think early May, if I remember rightly. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, that's an interesting fight. The Justin Gaethje's also been given the next shout at the belt. A lot of people think it should be Islam Makhachev now. Obviously, Islam Makhachev's just about to fight Beneil Dariush in mid-February here, so we'll see how that fight plays out. And obviously, whoever wins that will most likely get the winner of the championship fight to fight for the belt. We know this is pretty obvious information. But we look at Charles Oliveira and Justin Gaethje. Now, it's an interesting one because Charles Oliveira has proven that he has the skill sets and the determination and just the overall general tool. Yeah, he's just got the overall tool set to be able to defend and fight everything. He's been knocked down, he's overcome adversity on the floor. Like he got knocked down a couple times versus Poirier. He got taken, he got beat down by Chandler, and he just keeps coming forward, gets back up. He's just relentless, right? And if you look at the people he's beaten, in that he won the title fight against Chandler, and then he defended against Poirier. I mean, Justin Gaethje's fought both of those guys, and it's a tough one to match up because they've all kind of beat each other in one way circumstances or not. But if we look at where they are today in their career as of right now, I mean, Charles Oliveira is on a high of like a 12 win streak or something like that. Like that's crazy. He's got the confidence coming off the Dustin Poirier win. I think he's proven that he is the best in the world as the champion right now until he gets further. If he defends against Gaethje, then obviously he's going to have to deal with either Beneil Dariush or Islam Makhachev. So we'll see how that plays out, right? We'll see how that... it's going to be very interesting. Justin Gaethje obviously just, had an absolute war with Michael Chandler. That was a fantastic fight. But again, he never beat him. He didn't really knock him out a couple times. We have to admit that. But I don't know. It's just... Justin Gaethje is really good on his feet. We haven't really ever seen his wrestling. I think that's the biggest thing, right? And I mean, I'm a fan of Gaethje. Like, he's an exciting fighter to watch. I think anyone in the lightweight division as a whole is generally quite exciting to watch. So we'll see how that plays out. If he uses his wrestling on the ground, it'd be exciting to see that. But obviously, Gaethje's going to try and keep it on the feet as much as possible, just to try and put as much damage on Oliveira as he can. So we'll see how that plays out. The one thing I think is like what he has to make sure is if he does take it to the ground, he has to be really careful, because we all know that Oliveira's got like the most finishes by submission. I think in the UFC as a whole, if not lightweight division for sure. And he's so dangerous, and his stand-up game is getting so much better. Interesting to know whether or not it's going to happen in Brazil. That's going to be an exciting one. If it happens in Brazil and Gaethje wins, like, it's going to be like, as long as he doesn't shout at the crowd like Colby Covington did, we should be all right. But I don't know who's going to win. I think Charles Oliveira is going to win. I think he's got the better overall skill set to be able to beat Gaethje. Certainly if they start to tire in the later rounds, if it does get past the first kind of 2-3 rounds, depending on how much pressure that Oliveira puts on Gaethje, I think is going to be a key part of it. If he puts a lot of pressure on him, gets Gaethje swinging kind of very similar to how Khabib did, get him kind of tired out, and then obviously then he can probably choke him out, submit him how he wants to, kind of similar how he did to Poirier. I think that's probably going to be a likely game plan that Oliveira is going to come to the table with. I think Gaethje's going to go out there to knock him out, but you can always tell when Gaethje's getting in a fight. You can tell like he's under pressure. He's gonna start swinging for the bleachers. You could just tell the way he reacts. And the first round is always super dangerous. He's either going to knock him out or he's not. Right. Same thing happened in the Chandler fight. Like, I mean, Khabib put the pressure on him majorly in that fight. It's until he starts to get a little bit more composed in the later rounds after he's calmed down and that almost like burst of adrenaline's gone. You saw it in the Tony Ferguson fight, right? He controlled it. He was much more controlled, but he wasn't getting pressured. And I think that's what his weakness is. I think if you focus in on pressuring Gaethje, I think it really does push him back to a point where he just starts making mistakes. Versus if you're not putting the pressure on him, I think he'll just continuously keep coming forward and just landing the punches. And I think that's the thing. I mean, he was lucky against Chandler. He got wobbled. They both got wobbled. It was an absolute fantastic fight, no doubt. But I think if Oliveira plays his cards right, comes in with a proper game plan, I definitely think that Oliveira will win. But it would also be exciting to see Gaethje as champion. But if you look at the next fight beyond that, if you look at the Islam Makhachev fight and Benil Dariush fight, like if Islam Makhachev wins and Justin Gaethje wins, then it's almost going to be like it could be Justin Gaethje 2 fight. And I think it's just going to result in kind of the same outcome with Islam Makhachev beating him, because I think Islam Makhachev will beat Justin Gaethje. But if Charles Oliveira is champion again and defeats Justin Gaethje, I would be very excited to see Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev, because that's an interesting matchup. That will be an interesting matchup because I think everybody who's been watching the lightweight division closely over the last little while, I don't know, I think everybody would like to see Oliveira versus Khabib. Obviously that's never going to happen, but it would be probably the closest thing you'd have. So we'll see how it goes. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know who you think is going to win out of Justin Gaethje and Charles Oliveira. I'm very excited to see that fight come here soon. Leave me a comment down below and I'll be sure to respond. Thanks for watching this episode of Leave Talks, and I will see you on the next one.